We'll go back. Parenting the Future Athlete, 8th grade sampler, PSSA sub. We're about to get into it. Let's say you want to read it on your own on your computer. If you click on this right here, boom, read aloud version of the story. This game, it's for later if you have time and want to have a little fun. Doesn't have much to do with this, but covers PSSA stuff. All right, slide 2. Drag the purple dog to the stained glass window here at Yale. Oh, it's a Yale classroom, and oh, I see the lecture hall here, and here's some stained glass windows. Beautiful. Norms to be observed right now. Please follow along with each slide. Those without a computer should sketch, doodle, and mimic in the paragraph packet questionnaire what is happening on screen. The packet that you need, should you be computerless today, is right on Mr. Surface's desk, PSSA 8th grade number 2, packet number 2. I'm going to put this dog right on the word doodle because maybe the dog is one of those golden doodle dogs. Suggestions for viewing. Turn it up loud enough so everyone can hear. Number 2, pause the video when prompted, as there may be an opportunity to discuss or clarify the directions and or expectations. I'm looking at you, whoever's subbing for me today. Thank you so much. Fighting a good fight. I appreciate you. Slide 5. Let's put this green cat down by here. We're trying to look at what it's going to look like and feel like when we're taking those PSSAs on our computers, and boom, we're going to get one on the screen that looks like this. Put that green cat by there. If I do not have a computer, you might be saying, I will be taking notes and completing my packet. And you want these notes to correspond as best you can with what's going on screen. All right, so even though these samples are from English Language Arts grade 5, the story and text and all that will be grade 8 level. So let's go ahead and make sure we sign our name to this side, the slide 7. Let's sign mine in purple. Mr. Surface. Whew. Oh, beautiful. Slide 8. If you could please put my red fish in the least dirty of the 3 fish bowls down here. This is just telling you not to photograph any part of the PSSAs or else they'll arrest you and charge you $30,000 and this, that, or the other. 9, test directions. Here's a sad button. We're going to begin the test. Got to begin that test right there. All right, make sure that sad button goes down there. Now, there's a few different tools you can use when you're taking the PSSA online. The first is just your basic cursor. Could you put your red triangle there on slide 10? The information in this article prepares you for both the PSSA and to live more present, fulfilling life. Ain't that true when it comes to my athletes in the room? So whoop, whoop. All right, if you could grab this hashtag here, put it over by this drop-down menu and put it between 1 and 2. Why? I'll tell you why. Because this will tell you which paragraph and question corresponds with which. Absolutely a great tool should you be trying to bide your time and economize when you're taking this test. Slide 13, Baker's Dozen. These were chosen to help you feel and be as confident as possible for the big state test. If you could put that by the word big, please. Slide 14. If you could drag this compass over to the this little X out oval, I should say, and notice how it helps you to get rid of answers you know for a fact are wrong, right? What a great little tool. Slide 15. Focus, everybody. Focus up. Focus right now. Don't care if you have a computer or not. Focus. Next, let's say you want to highlight something. Well, I love a good highlighter, and this includes one. You put the race car on this little highlighter here, and it'll allow you to highlight different parts of the question that you want to return to. Maybe there's an important moment. Maybe you just need to fiddle around for a moment to let your brain reset with this question. This is a way to do it. Focus. Everybody in the room, let's get on it. Let's focus. Let's do it. Come on. If you could drag this yellow box over to the highlighter, or I'm sorry, not the highlighter, the post-it icon, and that'll allow you to post certain notes that you have from question to question, right? A great tool for when you're trying to take a long, complicated test like the PSSA. Focus. Everybody right now on that packet, on these slides. Finally, there's this line reader. Now, we usually use cards in here, right? We've recently been using these blue, these dark blue highlighter things. and they have like a yellow line in between. Oh, they've been great. Oh God, I've loved it. All right, that's what you've been doing recently. Um, Remember, those who use the line reader tend to do 20% better than students who do not. So make sure you use that line reader; it'll really help you. Focus. So much good advice coming at you right now. Focus. Okay. Now we've got this word cloud, which means I've taken the whole article, I've run it through a word cloud program. So the bigger the word, the more often it's mentioned. The smaller the word, the less often it's mentioned. So let's highlight three big words in yellow. Me, I've got parents, I got children, and I've got sports. What are three that you can find? Take a moment. Hmm. Now, let's downgrade a little bit, and we're going to find two medium words. Medium words like years or coach, right? Could you please find two medium words now? Yes, indeed. Now we're going to shrink it down one last time to purple, and we're going to find two small words. Small words like little or year, right? What are two small words that you can find? Excellent. Please take a moment to make your slide look like mine, like Mr. Surface's. Oh, yes. What a slam in tune. Good job making your slide 22 look like my slide 22. Drag the red dots over two keywords from the prompt. Let's take a look. Tone is the author's attitude toward the topic. What is the speaker's tone towards her topic in parenting and the future athlete? Use the text to support your answer. Well, I gotta tell you, I want you to take these two red dots. I'm taking them off this lectern here and putting them right here. And I'd like you to find the two most important words in this prompt right now. Please do so. Oh, yes. I went with tone and topic. Maybe you got something different. By all means, could have been speakers, right? Could have been parenting, right? A lot of all this stuff lines up really good. Could have been attitude, attitude. Slide 24. So take a moment, draw a little line around this bad boy. Let's get into the article that this is based on. All right, please make your slide look like mine, 24, a little circle around that word cloud. Okay, now you've got a link. This link will take you to the packet in Schoology. What else will it do? If you click this bottom part, it'll take you to a video, and that video will read the sampler to you. And your teacher, of course, has the option of letting that play out right now or reading it themselves, or if things are going really good, letting you listen to the video and read it, or you just simply read it. I'm going to leave it up to the uh, adult, but it would be good to just read it one time without this particular video. So either everyone reads it together, or you watch the video version together, this one here, or they all read it independently. But take the time to just read it once through really quick on your own now. What a, that song slaps. Slide 26. So if you're computerless, please make similar, if not copies of the notes from the slides into your packet. All right, so the things that you're about to see as we go through the story together, I'd like you to mark up in your packet. Okay? In this case, words that describe tone. You can have an amused tone. You can have an angry tone. You can have a cheerful tone. You can have a critical tone. You can have a clear tone. You can have a formal tone. You can have a gloomy tone. and we're going to leave it by humorous. You can have a humorous tone, right? These are all the feelings that go with how an author feels towards their topic. Slide 27. So it says find the adjective. We're going to listen to the entire thing together here. And together, you can watch the screen, follow along. We're going to get as many adjectives as possible. Mr. Surface, a student might say in class right now, are you going to find all the adjectives? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I can't. I'm not that fast. Okay. I wish I were. All right. I'm going to miss a few, but I'm also going to try to get as many adjectives as I can while we go through this together. So why don't you be in it with me instead of criticizing me? Uh, Character I'm speaking to. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. This is the article "Parenting and the Future Athlete." Let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome back. We're going to be reading Parenting and the Future Athlete. This is from the 8th grade PSSA packet sampler, part 2. Part 2. All right, so Parenting and the Future Athlete by Bonnie Kessner. Yale women's varsity swimming captain, 1973 to 1974. Yale women's varsity swimming assistant coach, 1974 to 1976. Delivered April 10th, 1999, as part of a panel presentation for pioneers and competitors, a special event to recognize women's athletics at Yale. Let me begin by saying how delighted I am to be here today and how much it means to me. Yay! Little did I realize when I stepped onto the Yale campus in the fall of 1970 as the only female competitive swimmer that I'd be speaking in front of a distinguished group of alumna and student athletes 28 years later. I'm deeply grateful to Melanie Günther and the others involved in organizing this event for extending me the invitation. Our topic this morning is parenting and the future athlete, and I would also like to begin by introducing two young athletes who happen to be my son and daughter. They're sitting in the back of this room. My son Wiley is a first-year student here at Yale, planning to major in art. As a child, he played t-ball, baseball, soccer, basketball, and received his black belt in taekwondo. His first love is soccer, and he started his own recreational traveling team at age 13 since our local recreation department did not sponsor one in his age group. In high school, he was captain and most valuable player of his varsity team for 2 years, and now he plays on the intramural team for Timothy Dwight and on a recreational league team in the summer. My daughter, Kristen, is finishing her high school senior career by taking courses at Sweetbriar College and will be a freshman at Kenyon. Slow down, buddy. Slow down. Let's all of us meet up on slide 29. We're going to break down our prompt, our text, and maybe a little visual to go with it together real quick. All right, so let's everybody go to slide 30. Notice how this corresponds with the paragraph. I think it's the third one that begins with, my son Wiley is a first-year student. Please drag your two red dots over here to the prompt. Please drag your two purple dots above my son. My son. My son. And now finally, you've got two little bits of like a visual text down here, a word cloud, and I think it says soccer mom with a soccer ball for the O. Please put an orange dot between those. Now, let's read the prompt and decide on what two words are kind of sticking out from that prompt now for us. Tone is the author's attitude toward the topic. What is the speaker's tone or attitude towards her topic and parenting and the future athlete? Use the text to support your answer. Please go ahead and move those two red dots to the two most important words in the prompt now. Perhaps you found two different red dots. That's absolutely fine, so long as they're in a correct spot. Now, you've got to take these two purple dots and you've got to find two spots where you think they go that supports the prompt here, which is what is the speaker's tone towards her topic. Let's go ahead and read it real quick. My son Wiley is a first-year student here at Yale planning to major in art. As a child, he played t-ball, baseball, soccer ball, basketball, and received a black belt in taekwondo. His first love was soccer, and he started his own recreational traveling team at age 13 since our local recreation department did not sponsor one in his age group. In high school, he was captain and most valuable player of his varsity team for 2 years. Now he plays an intramural team for Timothy Dwight and on a recreational league team in the summer. Let's take a moment now and move those two purple dots to something that you feel helps to describe the attitude in this. Perhaps you got something different than the adjectives local and recreational. Perhaps you got the same ones, as long as you tried your best. Finally, we've got our visual information, textual information, technically a little bit here. What's something from either Soccer Mom or the word cloud that you feel helps to answer that prompt? Take a moment now. I love it. That soccer ball gave him a nose. All right. So remember, as we're going through this once again, we're going to be marking the adjectives. We're a little bit in, I think we're at Kenyon College right here. So to put a little dot by Kenyon, that's where y'all are probably going to start reading. Let's go ahead and get as many adjectives in this as we can. In college next year. In the last 12 years, Kristen participated in gymnastics, dance, t-ball, softball, soccer, horseback riding, and tennis. She was captain on her high school varsity tennis team for the last 2 years and number one seed in singles and doubles this year. In preparing for this talk, I asked both Wiley and Kristen to tell me what they felt was significant about how their parents influenced their participation in sports. Wiley said one of the things that meant the most to him was our coming to his games. He said he always hoped his dad and I would be in the stands when he scored goals in soccer. Kristen said she appreciated the fact that we let her try so many different activities. I can't resist making a comment at this point on how far sports opportunities for girls and women have come in the last 40 years. I can remember as a 9 to 10-year-old going with my younger brother to watch his Little League practice and wishing I could play, but girls weren't allowed. Then there was that fall at Yale when Joni Barnett tried so hard to interest me in synchronized swimming, and I just wanted to be a competitive swimmer, even if it meant swimming with the guys. First point. In parenting, one thing you need to realize is the commitment for you that is involved when your children participate in sports. It's not easy when your child chooses a sport like swimming or ice hockey where practices may be held as early as 5:30 a.m. and you have to be the driver. When both parents are working and there are two or more children wanting to go in several directions, it becomes even more complicated. The activities you and your child choose need to fit in with the priorities and schedules of other members of the family. Be aware that pursuing a sport seriously can mean a major commitment and sacrifices for the whole family. Second point. My second point is to let your kids be themselves. They are not miniature versions of you. Let them seek and pursue activities that interest them. Let me give you an example in the area of music, which can be, by the way, very much like a sport. I have had an interest in and passion for music since I was very young and was eager to have my children experience this as well. When Wiley was 4.5, we started him on piano lessons. He did not turn out to be a young Mozart I had hoped he would be, and in spite, or perhaps because of my urging him to practice, he lost interest in pursuing music by the age of 8 or 9. He was too young, and he wanted to do other things. Since then, I've learned to let the interest come from the child and then to be there and support them when it does. Wiley's passion turned out to be for oil painting, a field that is completely foreign to me, but he was my 100% support to develop it. When you become very eager to have your child participate in an activity, ask yourself, is this for me or for them? Encourage rather than push. They have to want to do it. As it turns out, I took up playing the organ and piano about 8 years ago and discovered that it was I who wanted to do music and was trying to live this through my son. Now, I do my thing and kids do theirs and everyone is happy except my husband who has to put up with my practicing when he wants to watch TV. At younger ages, it is good to let children be exposed and try out a variety of sports and other activities. At age 12 or 13, they will need to make some choices and specialize. You can support them by helping them to identify their strengths and encouraging them to pursue the sports best suited to their abilities and interests. Some parents make the mistake of asking their children to specialize too early. The child may get burned out from too much of one activity and then lose out on the opportunity to experience and develop in other areas. Third point. My third point is to play with your kids as well as watching them play. When I asked Kristen. When we get into that one, we'll get into that one later. All right, let's go ahead and remind ourselves what's going on with this TDA. If you drag your 2 red dots over to the prompt, and if you could please drag your 2 purple dots on top of this paragraph, put the first one on as, and the next one on turns. All right, and finally, you can put this orange dot or yellowish dot between these 2 graphics here. Please take the time right now to find the 2 most important words with your red dots in that prompt. Please find those 2 red dotted important yellow words or prompt related words now. Go ahead. Excellent. Now, those 2 purple dots up there, they need to help you figure out how to answer the prompt there on the left about tone. Could you take a moment and please drag those 2 purple dots to the 2 most important words in that paragraph there? Please do so now. And finally, which of those does the picture or maybe one of the words from the word cloud seem to match up well? Take a moment now to find a place for that orange dot on either the illustration or the word cloud. Do so now, please. Rock and roll. Let's go ahead and finish up this article. And what she remembered most about how we as parents encouraged her in sports as a child, she said, I remember how you used to play running bases with us out in the front yard and how we used to go down to the courts and hit the tennis balls together. As a coach, I'm just highlighting those 2 sentences because that's where we happen to be reading right now. Let's switch our adjective highlights to orange to go with that picture at the top, right? We can go with my third point, third being an adjective, with your kids as well as watching them play. When I asked Kristen what she remembered most about how we as parents encouraged her in sports as a child, she said, I remember how you used to play running bases with us out in the front yard and how we used to go down to the courts and hit tennis balls together. No. I'd like to offer a few tips for parents. Number 1, model good sportsmanship and positive attitudes. When young athletes hear their parents yelling at the refs from the stands, what are their attitudes going to be like down the road? 2, don't try to be the coach unless, of course, you are the coach. If you have a concern or disagree with the coach, discuss it with him or her and not in the presence of the child. To talk negatively to or about a coach in the presence of the child only undermines the authority of the coach in the child's eyes and leaves him or her confused as to who to listen to. 3, support the coach. If you have major philosophical differences of opinion with the coach and you cannot resolve it, it may be appropriate to place your child on a different team or in a different program. Otherwise, support the coach. Number 4, perhaps most important, keep winning and losing in perspective. Our culture is obsessed with winning and losing. As far as placing first is concerned, there are only a few winners, sometimes only one. Everyone else may be seen as a loser. You can counteract this by helping your child to see the positive aspects of any competitive effort. Kristen had an experience in tennis where she lost a singles match 6-1, 6-0. However, the girl she was playing was ranked number 2 in the state of Virginia, and to win even one game against this player was a real victory for Kristen. This was the best thing to focus on, not the fact that she lost. In situations in which the team is losing, play down winning and losing and help to create opportunities for personal success. Redefine winning as giving it your best effort or making a personal breakthrough. Wiley sent me an email which he commented on this aspect of his sports experience as a child. I was so frustrated at losing, and I couldn't stand you trying to put a positive light on the game because I was so frustrated by the fact that we always lost. But really, what could you have done?
This was just an attitude problem on my part. It could have been much worse if you said negative things about the way we played. And I was then and now very proud that you didn't just blame the ref or the coach, who are easy targets and for the most part popular scapegoats that other parents mistreat liberally. In retrospect, your approach was definitely the best one I can think of. Very few children will be the next Michael Jordan or Katie Hazelwood or Helen Hyde. It is best not to pressure them or lay heavy expectations on them to win or to be someone they are not. Encourage them to be the best they can be. Number 5. And finally, make it fun. The best gift we can give our children in sports is to help them to enjoy the activity, so they will continue to pursue it when they get older, not just as spectators, but as active participants. We have far too many armchair athletes in this country. If you handle kids positively, you can help them learn valuable lessons through sport that will stay with them through life. And don't forget to stay active yourself. We are all kids at heart. All right, what a rocket.
What a rocking story. So, on slide 39, let's go ahead and break down that last paragraph real quick in respect to the prompt. First, move your two red dots next to the prompt here so you can put them on the two most important words that go with that prompt. Please take the time now to move those two red dots to the two most important words in the prompt. Let's go. Hey. Too good. Now, move those purple dots, please, next to number 5. What are two words in that green text there that help to answer that prompt? Find those two words now. And now, finally, if you could please find a place for this orange dot. What image or word from the word cloud does it belong on? Take the time to move it now, please. Rock and roll, baby. So let's take a moment and break down a multiple choice question. Multiple choice rules. Read the question twice. All right. Which word from the speech represents the overall tone? All right. Which word from the speech represents the overall tone? Find and box important words and think about what it's asking. Well, I'll tell you some important words that I saw. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I see word. Seems important to me. I got to find one particular word, singular. And I've got overall tone. I'm going to put that phrase together. Oh, yeah. What's the overall tone? Overall being an adjective, by the way, meaning a tone that fits basically everything you remember from the article. All right. Take a moment, please, though, and make your slide look like mine. All right. Now, next, X question mark check mark for each option. Okay, which word from the speech represents the overall tone? Is it encourage? Well, I got to tell you, I'm going to put a question mark next to that one. Seems like an encouraging article. Pursuing what? Being a parent? I don't know. That's not a particularly useful one. I'm going to put an X there. Next, competitive. I think it mentions competition, but in a negative light. So I'm pretty sure I can put an X there too. And finally, obsessed. That's just reaching. Which means the one I wasn't sure about at first is now the one I am sure about. So I'm going to put a check mark there. There's no check mark that I can find, so I'm just going to put, I don't know, a backslash and a underscore. That's as close as I'm going to get the check mark. You can take the time to make your slide look like mine now, please. All right. Slide 42. If you're computerless, please make similar, if not copies of the notes from the slides into your packet. That includes that question that we just did together. You can put that by packet. Thank you, Purple Dog. Slide 43. Tone is the author's attitude towards the topic. What is the speaker's tone towards her topic in parenting and the future athlete? Use the text to support your answer. Please, if you could, highlight 3 big words that help to answer this prompt. Please do so now. Excellent. Now, if you could please highlight three medium green words that help to support the answer to this topic. Let's take the time to do so now. Those are my three. Hopefully, you've got different ones. And finally, let's find three small words that help us to talk about this tone that the speaker is using in this essay to help to answer this prompt. Heads up, I may have found a more than three. Slide 44. So let's everybody focus right now. Let's get into it. Big focus right now. As we go through this paragraph together, we're just going to be reading it. All right, as you read it, just know that this is an example of a paragraph that is answering the prompt. So you can see an example body paragraph to go with this prompt. All right, while I read along, please, adult in the room, consider reading this along with students too, maybe after this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. Prompt. Tone is the speaker's attitude toward the topic. What is the speaker's tone towards their topic in parenting and the future athlete? Use the text to support your answer. The speaker's tone towards her topic in parenting and the future athlete is encouraging when she details how to treat with the coach. Bonnie Kesner was at Yale, athlete who returned to her alma mater to deliver a speech on the topic of parenting in sports. After giving a bit of background about her life and the sports careers of her own children, she turns to advice. Her third piece of advice is to support the coach. Quote, support the coach. If you have major philosophical differences of opinion with the coach and you cannot resolve it, it may be appropriate to place your child on a different team or on a different program. Otherwise, support the coach. This emphatic support shows that she means to encourage and not criticize. If her advice were to harass the coach until the parent's vision is achieved, then her tone would be subservient or weak. This important and measured advice shows that the tone of the author towards parents in sports is encouraging to players, parents, and coaches alike. Notice how there's a little picture to go along with each part of the paragraph, huh? How about all that? All right, slide 46. So here, this is just a basic breakdown of how you might go ahead and respond to this prompt. First, you would want to identify what the tone is, right? The tone equals blank. And then you'd want three examples, right? The example that I provided, which was towards the end of the article, was respect. I would say even better than that would be the encourage coach, right? Then you probably have a second reason, and you probably have a first reason, right? Then your conclusion would be to restate the tone is blank because reasons 1, comma 2, comma, and the encouraging of the coach. Okay, so that would definitely work, making your slide look a little something like Mr. Surface's right now. Please do so. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. All right. Now we go to slide 47. There's our prompt. There's our word cloud to go with the article that we read or the lecture. And now we're going on to slide 48. I'd like you to respond to this TDA prompt until the end of the period. Perhaps you've only got 5 minutes. That'll shake out in the wash, I'll be able to tell. Perhaps you've got 0 minutes. You didn't get here. Well, then I'm talking into a void. Or maybe you've got some time. It's time to bounce back. Maybe you missed a few adjectives here and there, right? Bounce back now. It's time to get to the prompt. Let's go. Thank you for subbing.